joining us for episode 3 of Refinancing and Purchasing a Home in Maine webinar. I'm Jennifer Schultz of Cumberland Title with Matthew McDonald, owner and attorney of Cumberland Title. And today we're going to talk about the title company's role in a real estate transaction. First of all, we'd like to thank you for all your comments and suggestions from the last couple episodes. Keep them coming. We would certainly like to cover topics that you're interested in or answer your questions. So please don't forget to comment in the box below or give us a call at the number listed.
I only got 2 pieces of feedback, Jennifer. Only 2. You know what they were?
I can guess one of them.
1 is you're prettier than I am.
Oh.
And 2, apparently I talk with my hands a lot.
Really?
That's what people tell me. So I was actually instructed to sit on my hands and do this webinar, but I don't think I can do that. So we're gonna plow forward with my hands flying around.
All right. So let's dive in. What is the role of the title company in a real estate transaction?
Gotcha. Well, the role of the title company can be very complex. It is a legal transaction. So first and foremost, if you're looking around for a title company, one of the first questions you ask is, do you have an attorney on staff at your title company? But really, in all that we do around here, I can really boil it down to just 3 simple things. We do 3 things around here. 1, the first thing we do is called the closing. All right. I like to think of that as just like the paperwork of the operation. That is the emails, the phone calls, organizing the real estate agents, getting all of the information, getting the payoffs for the seller, collecting all of that information and combining it into one stack of about 100 pieces of paper that I take and I actually walk in and do the closing. Now actually the hour or more I spend with you to do the closing, that's covered as well. That's all part of the closing. And also after the closing is considered the closing. Recording the documents, dispersing the funds, getting copies to everybody, and making sure that the transaction is complete and correct. That's the closing. Okay. The next thing we do, the second thing we do around here, is the title search. All right? Back in the old days, I used to actually go to the Registry of Deeds, pull out the big old dusty books, and I would sit and I would read the seller's deed, okay, to make sure it's correct. And then I would read the deed before that. And then I'll read the deed before that. And I'll keep going back in time till I'm confident that the seller who's coming to the closing actually has the rightful ownership of the property. And they have the contractual right to actually transfer it to you, the buyer. Then the third thing we do is the title insurance, okay? We're gonna handle title insurance on a whole nother episode just because it's kind of deep and title insurance is something you definitely do not want to walk out of this closing room without. But I like to very simply discuss title insurance and saying that that is your insurance policy, Jennifer, that when you buy the property, that's your insurance policy that you are the rightful owner of that property, and that's crucial.
Now, what in particular do we need to know about these 3 items?
Well, I've discussed it as 3 items, but I want people out there learning, and we're laying a foundation here for several episodes going forward. But in laying that foundation, you should know those 3 things that we do, but you need to start thinking about it as only 2 things. Because we have the closing, which happens over here, and then we have the title search and title insurance, okay? Closing happens, title search and title insurance happens as a group. And those 2 things can be separated.
Okay, why do you separate the 2?
Well, for most of the time, those 2 things happen at the same title company. All right, we do it around here all day long. Closing, title search, and title insurance. But people out there, if you want that deeper level of knowledge, those things can be separated. The closing can happen at one title company, and the title search and title insurance can happen at Cumberland Title. Now, why is this? That's because, and this goes into another one of those things where I think the consumer does not know this. Maybe they're not supposed to know it, but I certainly know they don't know it. And that is a crucial aspect of this, is that you as the consumer have the right to choose your own title company. Now keep in mind, I said choose your own title company. That's not quite correct. I say choose your own title company, but you really only get the choice of who does the title search and title insurance. All right? The closing can be controlled by who your lender chooses. All right? Think of it this way. Again, your lender's going to be giving you $100,000, $200,000. they want a little control over who's handling all of that money, because all of that money actually comes into the title company account. And then I disperse it. So the bank or your lender really wants to make sure that you're using a title company that's been in business a while, has an attorney on staff, and can handle a transaction.
So as the borrower, I could go to my lender of choice and tell them I want to use Cumberland Title.
Absolutely, yep. And you can do your own research. You can choose Cumberland Title, but keep in mind, and Cumberland Title's been in business for 30 years now. There is an attorney on staff. We're on the list of just about every lender in the state. However, it's possible that you could actually go to a lender or a mortgage broker or a bank and they could say, well, Cumberland Title's not on our list. Well, then what do you do? All right. Well, one, ask that lender. Say, hey, lender, I'd like to use Cumberland Title, and I want them to do not only my title search and title insurance, because we can definitely do that for you, because that right is protected in state law. You can say, hey, I want them to do the closing too. I want Matthew McDonald or Jennifer to do the closing. Great. They may put us on the list, and that's fantastic. Two, they can just put us on the list maybe just for that one transaction, and we can do the closing for them. Or, in a pinch, the lender you've chosen, they don't want to work with Cumberland Title, that's fine. Let them close it somewhere else at another title company, but you can still request Cumberland Title, do that title search and title insurance.
Okay. And what is this all going to cost?
It's going to cost quite a bit. However, one, we're going to get into what these things cost, and two, we're going to really start getting into how to save yourself some money, and we'll do that right in the next episode.
Excellent. Great. Well, I hope you guys found today's informative, and please give us your feedback. We'd love to hear from you. And again, leave your comments in the box below or give us a call at the number listed. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Jennifer Schultz with Matthew McDonald for Cumberland Title.